All right. All right, guys. So after string operations, let's start with the list operation and understand what are list. So list are nothing but it is a collection of different type of objects together. Like if you want to maintain a list of names, then you can have different names stored in a variable. Like Ram, Vijay, Sham. These three variables are there, or these three names are there, which you want to store in a single construct or single variable. In that scenarios, you use list. Okay, so let's say let's define a list. So to define a list, the very important feature or the very important thing that you need to remember is whatever you want to add into the list, you have to enclose it in the big braces, and then you can put item values or whatever be the things are like this, test and maybe test one, and then you can put it in the list. Okay, and as soon as you run it, you can print it as well. If you want to print a list, just you have to name the list and it will be printed. You can see here. So I have taken three different type of object, not exactly the three different type. Let me correct it. So one is numeric type, another one is string type, and third one is also string type. If I'm going to run it, you can see list is created with one, which is a number, has been treated as a number, and the other two items has been treated as a string, right? So this is how you can create a list. Similarly, I have created a list here which named as first, and it is storing values or names as Ram, Vijay and Sham. Now as I demonstrated, if you want to store different type of items in the list, so that also is supported in the list. Like I have ABC, then 34, which is a number, then true, which is a boolean, then 40, and then male. If you go and run it, you can see that all the different type of data types has been stored in the list. That is the really good point from the list, right? Now if you are having a list and you want to know how many items are available in the list, then there is a straightforward function by which you can count the number of items which are present in the list, and the function name is len. Len means length. So if you are mentioning the name of list under len function, so you can see that there are 5 items in the list: 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Yeah, so that is something really easily shown by the list if you are using len function. Right now, next thing, if you want to see is accessing the list. So you have created a list now, and after creating a list is present. Now if you want to access a specific item present in the list, so as we know that list is a numbered construct, so it starts with 0. So if you want to, let's say, print, and then from list one, if you want to print the print 34, so this is going to be at index number 0, 1. This is index number 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4. So if you want to print this 34, so 34 will be at index number 1, and if you print it, it will directly come here. Similarly, if you want to see male, so it will be at 0, 1, 2, 3 and fourth place. So you just need to mention 4 here, right? But many a time, if you want to see a range of number directly, so just you need to do print and then list name. And if you want to see range means starting from 1 till all the items, or starting from 1 till 4th item. So you have to just mention 1 till 5. If you mention that, so you can see all the items will be mentioned. You have to remember that the 5th item, or if you mention 4 here, so you can see the difference if you mention 4 and if you mention 5 here. That will give you a better idea like what is the difference. If you mention 5 here, that means the 5th item which you have mentioned. So this is 0th item, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th. So if you are mentioning 5 here, so 5 will not be considered. So whatever been mentioned at the end of the list or end of the indexing, that element will not be considered while you run it. So here you mention 1 to 4, that means starting from 1 till 3, not 4. 4 will not be included, like this. So it is going to give you output of 1, 2 and 3. 4 will not be included. And here if you mention 1 to 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4 will be added. 5 will not be considered, right? So this is how it behaves. Now similarly, if you have a list available with you, and in that list print, and in that list you don't know the upper and lower limit, like you just want to start with item number 1, but you don't know how many items are present in the list. You just want to trace it throughout, that means till the end. So you want to start with 1 and trace it till the end of the list. So you just can avoid mentioning the end index. So if you do not mention end index, then it consider that starting from 1, read all the items which are present in the list. Okay, so it is not going to look for 5 or 4 at the end. It will read throughout the list, starting from 1 till very end of the list. It will read, right? It will print. So if you do not mention anything at the end, so it will print all values. Similarly, if you are mentioning it like this, list 1, and then you are not mentioning any start index, so it will consider it from very start, right? So if you are mentioning like from nothing to 4, so it will mention from nothing, that means right from the basic, right from the very start till very end, till index number 3, because this is 4, but 4 is not considered before 4. So if you are mentioning 4, that means till 3 it will consider. So starting from 0 till 3. So 0, 1, 2 and 3. So these all will be displayed if you are going to mention this function. So ABC 34 true and 14, right? So this is how you can fetch elements from the list. Now after fetching different elements from the list, there is another thing which you can do is you can update any element of the list. So if you want to update any element of the list, like Ram, Vijay and Shyam, this is your list, and you want to update Ram with Raja Ram. So if you want to update if you want to update Vijay with Raja Ram, because at number 1 we have Vijay, so Vijay with Raja Ram, if you want to update it, so simply you have to mention the new value and move it to the specific index that you want to update. Okay, so I'm just printing list before doing the operation and printing the list after doing the operation, and we'll see what is the impact of this operation. So you can see earlier we had Ram, Vijay and Shyam in the list, and then later we have Ram, Raja Ram and Shyam in the list, right? So Vijay has been updated to Raja Ram. All right, now next thing that we have to do is, if you want to insert element, here you have updated the element in the list. So here we have updated element in the list, update element in the list. Now after updating element in the list, if you want to insert element in the list, so you can element in the list. If you want to insert an element in the list, so what you have to do, you have to use insert function. So by using insert function, you can insert any element. So like this is the list 1 that we have, and in the list 1, if at position 2 you want to insert Raja Ram, so you can do that. So this is 0, this is 1, and this will be somewhere position number 2. So here you want to insert Raja Ram, so what you have to do, you have to use insert function, and then you have to mention the index number, and from index number you have to just mention what you want to add in there. So when you are going to run it, you can see that initially the list was Ram, Vijay and Shyam, and now at index number 2 we have Raja Ram as well. All right, so this was about few operations in the list, and now we are going to do more operations on the list in the next discussion. Thank you.